Will AI come to replace your job by 2030? And more importantly, what, if anything, can you do about it? That's the question and topic for this video today. And it's a question that, if it's not already on your mind, it should be. You see, all through human history, we've experienced these great waves of disruption. And where the story of technological disruption begins is in the agricultural age. You see, back then, you were either a landowner or you were a peasant. All wealth, all power, all opportunity was tightly held with a very small minority of the population. You were either born into the right family or you were destined to remain poor for the rest of your life. There was virtually nothing you could do to change your circumstances. But then a big wave of technological disruption swept through the world and the tractor was invented. What 100 men could do in a day could now be done by a couple of workers in an hour. Technology like this lifted everyone's circumstances because it was better and more productive to operate a tractor than it was to plow a field by hand all day long. In the industrial age, the same thing happened. You either owned the means of production, which was the factory, or you were a worker in it. Division of labor meant that once again, the vast majority of wealth, power, and opportunity went to the factory owner, not to the workers. In the digital era, the entrepreneur like you and I was born. With a laptop and an internet connection, you could have a remote team from Mumbai to Berlin working around the clock. You could service clients all over the world with inexpensive software. And you could create the kind of value that would have taken 100 workers 100 years in the industrial age. Now, my friend, you and I are embarking on a whole new era of technological disruption. It's a revolution in the very fabric of intelligence, a shift from human intelligence to artificial intelligence. So in this video, I'm going to share a blueprint for what uniquely human abilities you have left in this brave, new, AI-powered world. Strap yourself in, and I'll see you on the other side. Ability number 1, separating functional versus vital activities. You see, every human on the planet has a very clear division between what is a vital activity for you versus what is a functional activity for you. The word vita in Latin means life, so the literal translation of vital is essential to life. Therefore, you can choose to devote your time to those activities that are essential to the very existence of your life and your projects, or you can put your time into that which is functional. Now, by definition, functional means non-essential. It's everything left over after your vital contribution. In a world of artificial intelligence, AI is rapidly consuming the functional aspects of what you do, from writing to communication to calendar management, operating procedures, financial reporting, everything else in between. Now, you have a choice. You can either bury your head in the sand and stick to doing what you already know, or you can start to identify the 2 or 3 vital activities that only you can do, which will take AI a much longer time to replace. What might those activities be? Well, that brings me to ability number 2, transcending from worker to manager. Already within 6 months of the public birth of this AI revolution, something called autonomous agents are being developed at rapid speed. Do you remember Agent Smith from the movie The Matrix? Well, I want you to imagine that very soon, every person and organization on the planet will have access to dozens of Agent Smiths at the click of a button and at very low cost. These AI agents will become the new workers in an era of artificial intelligence, and they have some unique advantages compared to human beings. Not only do they possess or can access all the documented knowledge of human civilization within seconds, yet unlike in the agricultural era or the industrial era, these AI agents don't require food, social connection, motivation, or even sleep. They will become all-powerful, all-knowing, and relentlessly serving workers to the new AI-powered economy, which means your ability to work hard essentially became redundant. So what is valuable? Well, to start with, it's your ability to manage. Just like managing human beings, these AI agents require a type of management too. They need a clear vision and a goal to work towards in order to be useful. They need direction and instruction on what is required of them. They need to be put to work on the right problems to solve and given the right parameters in which to solve them. Your new job is to become the manager of AI, not a worker competing with AI. Those days are long gone. Which brings us to ability 3, becoming a leader. Becoming a good manager in an AI-powered world, well, that's one thing, but becoming a powerful leader, that's another. Stepping into the role of leadership is more valuable than ever. Now more than ever, your fellow human beings are desperate for leadership. In a world that's rapidly changing and, well, frankly, uncertain for so many people, both humans and AI need powerful leaders to step up to the plate and lead. Superhuman level intelligence could be disastrous in the hands of the wrong people or ideologies, or incredibly liberating in the hands of the right ones. What's your vision for your industry at large? What ideologies or philosophies will you take a stand for, and what will you resolutely stand against? How will you lead people through insight and thought from the old paradigm to the new one we're entering? Your thought leadership, people leadership, and your technological leadership matters more than ever. You need to start immersing yourself deeply in this world of AI, and you need to be ready to anticipate and respond to change. Start creating a vision for your team, your customers, your industry, and maybe even the world at large of how we should integrate with this new technology, because I promise you, it's here to stay for good. Now is your time to step up and claim your space within it. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Ability number 4, asking good questions. One critical element of becoming a powerful leader in the AI economy is your ability to ask the right questions. Or in the context of AI, to know how to prompt. Prompting, of course, is nothing new. It's essentially your ability to know the right questions to ask. In fact, well before we understood what prompting AI meant, great leaders have been prompting their teams and customers in industry for decades with the right questions. So, how do you get good at it? Well, the fastest path I know is what I call future state thinking. You see, the mistake that most people make in designing the business or the life they want is by looking at their current situation or circumstances or the resources they've got and then forward engineering what to do or ask next. The problem with this approach is it leads to incremental insight or growth. See, the truth is, if you're an ambitious person, which I'm going to assume you are if you're watching this video, where you are today, both in circumstances and thinking, is not where you want to be in the future. Your current reality is a shadow of your future desires, dreams, and the destination of where you plan to get to. So if you find yourself asking, what do I need to do in order to get to the next step, then you'll be perpetually stuck making incremental steps forward based on what your current self knows to ask or what to do. The future you thinks and operates in an entirely different way. From the people you know, to the insights you have, the skills you've developed, the resources you've acquired, your future self has a level of thinking and understanding that your old self can barely comprehend. Therefore, if you want to achieve more of what your future self wants, you need to start with the end in mind. This is called future state thinking. You're imagining what the future state looks like and reverse engineering a plan to get there. This is what the most successful and iconic and innovative entrepreneurs and leaders of our time do. They imagine an exciting, compelling, and ultimately transformational future, and then they reverse engineer the building blocks, often from first principles, in order to achieve it. You can do this too, but only if you ask yourself and AI the right questions in order to get there. And finally, ability number 5, critical thinking. Critical thinking, by definition, can be explained as the determination of whether we should accept or reject or even suspend judgment about a claim, and then the degree of confidence with which we should accept or reject it. So in other words, critical thinking is a truth-seeking mechanism. In fact, the scientific method was founded on the ability to think critically. The very building blocks of all major human progress since the turn of the 16th century has happened because many smart thinkers before you asked questions, formed a hypothesis, ran experiments, critically evaluated the results, and then formed a conclusion and shared those conclusions with other smart thinkers to do further critical analysis. Critical thinking is the crucible from which the truth about the nature of ourselves and the universe is understood. So it's one thing to receive a response from AI. It's another thing to take that response on face value as either accurate or the truth. Being able to critically evaluate whether what you're getting back from AI is actually getting you closer to the understanding you're after will remain a skill that gives you a unique human advantage in this AI-driven world. Now you might be sitting there saying, Mike, I'm not a leader. I'm not a manager. I'm not good at embracing change. I suck at technology. These are all valid fears and concerns. But make no mistake, they will send you back to the equivalent of the Stone Ages in this brave new AI-powered world. It might sound dramatic or even harsh to say this, but if you don't start getting serious about redeploying your skills away from the functional into these vital abilities, you're probably going to get swept out to sea with the tidal wave of change that AI is bringing to our world. Now is the time to embrace it. to step up and to own your unique human abilities and lean into these 5 skills. As Charles Darwin put it, it's not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this has given you a new perspective on how you can lean into your unique human qualities in a world of AI. If you like this video, then I just have one simple request. The only meaningful signal that I have that I should create more videos like this is the channel's subscriber count. So can I ask, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more like this, then please give me that signal by subscribing to the channel. Not only does it help videos like this reach more people, but it helps me know that you want more videos like this from me. So thanks so much for your attention and your support. If you want to keep diving deeper, then tap the next video here from me, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.